grandson watched everything.
Yeah, my grandson watched everything. After they took me, he was crying, looking for me.
Shameful, how absolutely shameful to have to see that and to have to witness what's going on in our country. I don't recognize this country. I don't understand what's going on and why too many people are allowing this to occur. I'm completely shocked, and I bet a lot of you out there are as well. How about you?
Oh, I'm totally upset. I don't know if I'm shocked. I'm very upset. You know, when the guys go in there to get the older gentleman and they bring him out, and I don't know if you could see it on your screen, but when I was editing this, you know, it was, you could see that it was snowing, it's freezing out. The guys there, the ICE agents, are dressed like they're ready for Alaska. And
they didn't even give him a moment to put a shirt on. What about saying, sir, we need to take you in, but we'll give you a moment to put on some shoes, some pants, and a shirt. What's the hurry? What's the hurry?
Well,
where's the humanity?
I'm just wondering what the conversation was there. Like, you know, if an ordinary person goes in there and you got that ICE uniform on, you are got to be somewhat cordial. I mean, you know, and how there's like what 3-4 guys in there? Does one of them say, well, I think we should put some shoes on the guy, give him a jacket, maybe give him some pants.
Yeah, I mean,
that nobody cares, or they're just mean at heart, or what's going on there? I don't understand it.
You must have such a lack of feeling and of consciousness and conscientiousness that I don't understand. Where are they getting these people from that they don't have any kind of heart? I'm blown away. I'm so sad. And it's hard for me to keep watching this day after day, and I can't help but wonder, you know, where some of our leaders are right now that we've elected. Why aren't they speaking for us? That's what we elected them for, is to be our voice. So here you and I now are having to reach out to people ourselves, and nobody knows who we are, but we have to do something, or else we can't sleep at night. People need to speak out.
Just heard on Sunday, this past Sunday, I heard from I got an email from George Whitesides, who's our congressperson, and he reaches out and he said, we're officially in election year. He goes down here, he said, we just have 3 seats separating control of the race, and says, then he gets into what he's doing. I'm delivering for our communities, even with odds stacked against us. Just this month, House passed an extension of the ACA tax credit. He's focused on issues that hit home. The devastating Southern California wildfire is still ongoing. He's pushing for the overdue federal disaster relief and so on. But what about, this is like changing a light bulb when the house is burning down. This is George Whitesides, a Democrat. He's a Democrat.
We elected you, George. We need you. Please, we need you. Focus.
It's time to step up and be a leader. My God's sake, the house is burning down.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of people who are being abused and exploited and even killed. We are seeing actual murder going on in our country. Never have I seen anything like this in my lifetime. How about you?
No. Yeah, this is nuts. People 100 years from now will be studying these Trump years like mad. I mean, there'll be so many books. There'll be all sorts of documentaries. He's really the first nut president we've had where so much of it is caught on video, and you know the way he's always talking. The news always has him on. There's going to be so much to document what's been going on here. It's just a little insane. But yeah, who are these people who we elected? And it's like, my God, very few. Like Mark Kelly, he's making it, but of course he got attacked before he really let the dogs out. Newsom, he's always been on the attack.
And Bernie.
So Bernie, but
see.
there's probably, it's not even a half dozen people who are really doing the job they need to be doing on this. And they better get their asses in gear or we're going to lose our country. I mean, the Constitution is just being blown to pieces every day.
That's insane. You've got some numbers for us. What have we got?
Yesterday in the Los Angeles Times, there was an article on the cost of ICE. It's gone from $10 billion to $30 billion per year for operations and an additional $45 billion a year for detentions. Every one of those $1 billion contains $1,000 million. Billion and million, they sound close together, but they're not really. There's quite a step up from $1 million to $1 billion. Right now we're spending on a daily basis $82 million for operations and another $123 million a day for the detentions. And are we getting that money back? No. Also,
I don't see who wanted this in the first place.
no,
This is too extreme.
There are better ways to do this. You do it legally without parting families and putting the onus on these people to perform. And, get everybody to sign up, like when you've got to sign up your family, like when you come in on an airplane from another country. And
These people are already here. They're already working hard. They're already contributing to our society. What about bringing them in and giving them a social security number, making them pay the $750 that you have to pay when you become an American citizen, and then you are now engaging people and including them to become an American citizen, and they become a tax-paying citizen who's paying into Social Security, which we all know is in jeopardy. So now you've got people you're inclusive. You're saying you want to be in America, you might not have come in the right way. We forgive you if you pay us the $750 that you say you're going to pay to become an American citizen and start paying into the system. Doesn't that seem to make more sense than taking them out and costing all of this money, all of our tax dollar money?
And if their kids, say if one of the family members commits a serious crime, the whole family goes back to where they came from.
Right.
So that put the onus on these people not to commit any crimes.
Exactly. We're not talking about bringing bad people into the country, drug dealers and thieves. Of course, nobody wants that. We're not stupid. We're not saying let's bring everybody in. We're talking about the kind-hearted, good people that have been coming into America. Even my great-grandfather came from Poland, and he had to work in a coal mine at first. People have worked humble jobs. They work their way up. Be kind. Be kind. And what does it take to be inclusive and to allow these people who wanted to come here, to allow them to become American citizens?
Yeah, and they don't divide their families, and if they've got to go back to Mexico or wherever, and their kids don't know Spanish, it puts them in a hell of a fix. Unfortunately, we shouldn't have let them in here, but we did. Or we should have had another program to let them in by, but we did let them in, and now...
And it happened during Reagan, Bush, Clinton, all these other presidents allowed it to happen because they had a silent agreement that they knew that these folks were going to work their way up. So it's nothing new. It wasn't Biden. Trump is real clever. He knows how to make everybody else look like the bad guy. But this has been going on for decades. So
he seems to be losing a little bit of his cleverness as time goes on. So, at any rate, the guy who was shown in the video, the older gentleman walking out with just his shorts and sandals and a blanket over his shoulders, they found out that, number one, he's a United States citizen. His son had to take his driver's license or his ID to whatever detention center he was in. And then the ICE was looking for another guy. They were looking for...
a guy that's already in prison, right?
Yeah, a guy who was put in prison 2024, and they were looking for that guy. How stupid is that?
Will they apologize? Will there be a...
They didn't even apologize to the man. Good grief.
DHS told us that they were at that address conducting a targeted mission in pursuit of 2 undocumented sex offenders. In a news conference Tuesday, DHS asked the public for help in finding Lu Mua and Kam Mang Vang. We have confirmed through publicly available data from the Department of Corrections that Lou Mua is already in prison in Faribault serving a sentence for kidnapping. He's been there since 2024 and expected to be released in 2027.
This is insanity, folks. And you know it, we know it. It's got to stop.
Yeah.
We all have to start using our voices in every single way we can. And that's what we're doing.
Yeah, okay. So let's talk about how many arrests are being made. We don't really know the amount of arrests are being made because our government does not give us the numbers for ICE arrests. But I put the question to ChatGTP, and they said that about 1,000 to 1,200 arrests are being made a day. It must be more than that.
I think it's less.
But yeah, if that's the cost of the arrests, it costs about $68,000 a person for every person who gets arrested. $68,000 to make an arrest. So
What a waste of our tax dollars.
yeah,
We could be feeding people. We could be taking care of our citizens. We could be doing good work for the people and what people want. Instead, this is the way it's being done. And I'm shame on anyone who voted for Trump. I'm sorry, but whoever
Yeah,
voted for Trump.
how do you vote for a guy with 34 felonies, a guy who had 4 years of experience
and wouldn't leave
in
wouldn't leave the White House and cause an insurrection. He refused to leave, refused to accept that he lost. It's just boggles my mind. I'm sorry, I can't even believe what's going on right now.
Yeah, the whole thing's nuts. So I hope people get a little bit more educated the next time they vote. And farmers, I'm from farm country, lots of farm friends up there. And you guys had better get your shit together and think about who you're voting for. Basically, I've heard you guys talk. You never discuss further than your fence line. And you want that guy who doesn't matter if he lies to you, but he tells you, you farmers, you're going to do real well under me. Come on, Jesus Christ. Farmers are a fairly smart group of people, and I don't understand what happened to them in voting for Trump. But at any rate, now they're not so happy about it. So, well, let's talk about one of the biggest problems in this whole mess with the ICE and the Department of Homeland Services, and that's the leader of the whole thing, Kristi Noem. She was a former governor from South Dakota, and before that, she was in the North Dakota State Assembly as a state congressperson. So anyway, Trump grabs her. I think he grabbed all the lapdogs that were out there. Mm-hmm. And she's probably wealthy, but she's certainly not a Musk or somebody like that. I don't think she's in the billionaire status like most of these people are, but she could be a lapdog for him. And why the hell would people in South Dakota vote for her? She shot her 14-month-old dog because he wasn't good at hunting. If it disappointed her on a hunting trip. And then after that, later on, she shot a goat because the goat smelled and was sort of scroungy and so on. So rather than clean the goat up, she shot it. And one of the little tricks she's pulled recently is she bought 2 Gulfstream, I think they're G700 jet planes, passenger jets, some of the most expensive passenger jets you can buy. $100 million a piece. She bought 2 of those for DHS. And why the hell did they need 2 jet planes like that? I mean, those are real luxuries. And we're supposed to have 2 pencils, no more than 2 pencils. Jesus Christ. And 2 dolls.
Right.
If you got a young granddaughter or daughter, no more than 2 dolls. So, but she goes out and spends $200 million of taxpayer money on 2 Gulfstream jets. Mm-hmm. And
the ballroom at the White House. There's just a lot of stuff going on that we need to hold them accountable. We need to really, just use our voices, hit the streets, protest, and make sure that you let your councilmen, your congressmen know, and the senators know in your state that you're not going to vote for them again if they keep this up, if they don't speak out and use their voices for us. I've written to George Whitesides myself, and I've received form letter back. He didn't even really read what I said, so I won't be voting for him again.
Yeah, I sent him a letter, I think within the past week, I sent him a letter saying, George, let's get with it. And basically got the form letter back and doesn't really say anything. Hopefully, hopefully he read the letter. I don't know, but you don't expect much when Mike Garcia, he was no better. Don't gloat over a Democrat not doing well. Garcia, his form letters were, where's she at? So, but anyway, let's get back to Kristi Noem. This past November, she secretly gave $220 million to an advertising company she's in cahoots with. There's marriages there, and there's friendships there, and so on. And she did it when the government was shut down, maybe somewhat, so she wouldn't think anybody would notice. And it was a no-bid contract. She got a 60-second commercial out of it.
Why do I love these wide open spaces? They remind me of why our forefathers came here. Not just for its beauty, but for the freedom only America provides. I'm Kristi Noem. From the cowboys who tamed the West, to the titans who built our cities, to the dreamers who chased the impossible.
What a ridiculous commercial, huh? For how much money did that cost?
$220 million of taxpayer money.
That's not how I want my money being spent. How about you?
No, it's just
How
a
about
vanity
you?
project for her. She wants to see herself on TV, riding a horse, looking big. So, yeah, at any rate, we do what we can here with these videos. So, and we go out and we do all the marches and so on.
Peacefully.
Yeah, peacefully.
Protesting.
And
Always.
don't fall into the trap of being violent, because
That's what they want.
you see what Trump and company they're doing in Minnesota. They want the people to riot, to throw stuff at the cops, to shoot the cops, so that they can be branded terrorists.
And they can declare martial law at some point too, if this keeps up. So, but the people in Minnesota are being very peaceful, but they're being very vocal. I'm so proud of them. And everyone who gets out there and protests, thank you. Keep it going. We're going to, and we'll get through this.
Yeah, there'll be better days ahead.
Yeah.
The morning after we shot that interview, the Washington Post came out with an article about how ICE seems to be trying to avoid wearing body cams. The article is a long one, and it's too long to publish in its entirety, but the second box on this page notes that since Trump took office, ICE has released only one body camera video. The Washington Post articles generate some of the best readers' comments of any newspaper in the country, and the Post provides an AI summary of the comments for those who don't want to wade through all of them. Note here on this comment section, it says that the decision is seen as an attempt to avoid accountability and transparency, with comparisons made to authoritarian regimes. There is a strong sentiment that body cameras are necessary for oversight and to protect both officers and the public.